Florida man sets himself on fire while trying to ignite his own home. um, like my first when I read that headline, my first question is like, why are you trying to light your house on fire? Number one. Number two, how dumb are you to include yourself in like that whatever match lighting or setting or whatever you're doing? What do you? I mean, what do you think? Just by reading the headline is kind of like
It's a great headline because for me, it's like a little story unfolding just in the headline. Florida man sets himself on fire. I'm like, well, yeah, as you do when you're in Florida, maybe you had a lot of extra gasoline, you were bored, whatever. Oh, but while trying to ignite his own home. And I'm thinking like, is this a domestic dispute? Is this an insurance thing? And I wasn't able to not see the mugshot, and that answers it. I mean, it's like exactly what you'd imagine. This guy looks like late 50s, early 60s. Sort of has that ex-Marine vibe going on. Not overweight, but he's definitely. I don't think he's quite thin enough to be like a meth head. But the hair is like a little unkempt, 5 o'clock shadow, and just soulless dead eyes. If you showed me that picture and it was like, did this person start a charity to help the homeless? B, is he the author of a new screenplay for a series that's going to be acted out at Disney World? Or C, did he light his home on fire? Let's see. I don't even have to think about this.
I have a problem with this booking image though, because we can't. He's got his mouth is pursed, so you can't really see his teeth. But I imagine, like my imagination tells me, this guy's got like a couple teeth missing for sure. Like maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he's got a full set of chompers. Maybe he's got nice pearly whites. I don't know. But you can't tell from this image if he's got teeth or.
Oh, I had this when you said. The problem you have with that his mouth is pursed so you can't see his teeth. I was like, no. The problem is his mouth is pursed so you can't see his tooth. Singular.
Gotcha. Yeah. I can see he's probably like I imagine he's probably got like the front top, the upper top first 4 teeth are just gone, where he's just got like fangs. A Florida man nearly set himself in flames when he tried to burn his house down. The report said. Scott Anthony Massa, I hope I'm saying that right, sir. 51, allegedly took a bucket of accelerant and attempted to torch his Tampa Bay home at about 5:40 a.m. Sunday, police told Fox 13.
So I have to say congratulations to this guy. I guess he was late 50s, early 60s. He's only 51, but 51 in Florida years is that's like 140 in normal years. So this guy's holding up very well. I mean, your life expectancy in Florida is much shorter than if you're in a normal place, like California or Ohio or like Bosnia or any of those much calmer, more docile places. So he's doing pretty good.
He also woke up. He did it at 5:40 a.m. on a Sunday. So he had to wake up like early as fuck and say, you know what, before I go to church, before I go to mass, I'm going to set my house on fire, then go to church so I can confess my sin or something. I don't know. But while trying to toss the bucket through a broken window, Massa caught fire.
Oh, no. So I can envision this while he's tossing the bucket, but of course it's dripping. He used a bucket, first of all. Not a gas can or something that was going to be a little bit more enclosed. Just an open bucket, and of course there's liquid streaming out of the bucket because it's a fucking bucket. If you understand how gravity and buckets work, and there must have been this like flame trail from the bucket to him, and he catches on fire.
Can't blame him for not being not having thought this through.
No, I am shocked.
Or a Molotov cocktail or something like that, right? Like at least you could throw that from a distance.
I mean, I think this guy is like a real go-getter. Just like you said, he's like, you know what? Like early to bed, early to rise. I'm up at 5 a.m. I've got a lot to accomplish today. We're going to get job interviews, applications sent out. We're going to go to church. But step one of my things to do is we've got to get this house burned down quick. And I really think a sort of type A personality like that would have had, schematics and plans and would have had everything planned out. So I'm just very disappointed in Mr. Massa that he didn't have this really. Wow, that sounds vaguely racist, Mr. Massa.
Mr. Massa. He is white, Mr. Massa. Yes, Massa. Uh, he fled the scene. Massa was later arrested at St. Joseph's Hospital, where he had been seeking treatment for his burns. As of Sunday night, he remained hospitalized.
Wait, so hold on. So he put himself out first, or did he just flee the scene?
And it didn't say. It doesn't say at all. I hope he put himself out first.
Because that would be even more glorious. And this is my other question. If somebody in Florida, you know, a neighbor or something, woke up at 5:45 in the morning and just saw Scott Massa running down the street with a train of flames behind him, his wife beater T-shirt, and I'm assuming camo pants engulfed in flames. Look, when looking at that mugshot, he's wearing camo pants. Yeah. There's just 100% chance that he has camo pants on. But would that even faze him? Because that's one of the things that is a sort of a notorious stereotype about New Yorkers, that absolutely nothing phases them. Are Floridians similarly impervious to crazy Florida crap? If one of Scott Massa's neighbors saw him on fire, would they just be like, "Oh yeah, there's some guy on fire," and just roll over, go back to bed?
Oh, it's Scott being Scott again, lighting fucking shit on fire again.
Oh, Scott, what are we gonna do with him?
Fucking guy.
But on the plus, I mean, it seems like he was sensible enough to go to a hospital to seek treatment for his burns.
He's like, hey, I wonder if he used an excuse. He goes in, he's still on fire. I imagine he's still putting out, his arm hairs are still ablaze, and he's putting him out, patting him out. And I wonder what he's telling him, what excuse he used.
He tries to paint himself as a hero. I was on my way to church, and I saw a burning orphanage, and all the kids were out, but there was still a kitten in the top floor, and the orphans were crying. I was like, "Don't worry, little ones. I'll be your hero today." And I went in there, and I saved the kitten. His name was Mr. Jinx, and I gave Mr. Jinx back to the orphans, and they're like, thank you, Mr. Massa.
No, his name was Toby. His name was Toby, and the cat would meow at him, Mr. Massa. Get it?
Was it a black cat?
It was a black cat. His real name was Kunta, but he was like, "No, your name is Toby."
Yes, I saw Roots when I was in elementary school. I understand the reference.
Charges against them were pending. It was not clear why the man wanted to set his own house on fire. Very good, very good.
And you really have to wonder, does he even know at this point? Or in all the commotion of setting his house on fire, setting himself on fire, running through the streets on fire, as I imagine it, and then making it to the ambulance, did he forget the original reason?
Yeah, probably. Probably whatever accelerant he was using to light the house on fire, he breathed in the fumes, and he had a amnesia, he just forgot what the fuck he was doing, or where he was.
It's like that monologue in The Dark Knight from Alfred. It's like, some men just want to watch their houses burn.
It's true. I know the reference.
This has been This Week in Florida Man. At some point, I want to get a theme song for this. In my mind, it's the Spider-Man theme song, but with Florida Man lyrics, which are going to be Florida Man, smoke some meth, yes he can, driving drunk as a rule, alligators in his pool, look out. It's This Week in Florida Man.
All right.